And that was painful. It was painful because we were ultimately an Australian company. And, we'd done good work here. But the right answer for our shareholders was for the management team to be focused on one market, turn the company around in the largest market on earth, in the US, and then see what happens from there. We were also fortunate to have a partner here in Australia in Census, who we'd been working with for several years, who not only understood search marketing, but had a very legitimate and urgent desire, I think, to build their business in search marketing. So, we faced a number of circumstances, and when you added all that up, the right answer for the business in Australia was to join forces with Census. They bought the assets of the business, and they also took the people. The vast majority of our people in Australia are now working for Census. I'm personally very pleased by that. Those guys, the reason our business in Australia succeeded was not because of me or because of any great strategy. We're a little bit lucky in that we were here before others, but we also had good people. We had people who cared passionately about the business, who cared passionately about customer value, and I'm pleased that those people are continuing to work in the industry. I think Census has got a great team out of it, and I think that they will build from strength to strength. I guess I'm also pleased that an Australian company ended up owning our assets. It pleases me no end that there's still an Australian-owned company in search marketing, where the other players in search marketing aren't really Australian-owned.
Understood. What about the challenges that Census will be facing? Obviously, Optus chooses not to do business with any company affiliated with Telstra, their main competitor. By having the distribution with Optus, will that also be at some stage? Look,
I'm not sure what Census's plans are for that distribution network. We're running out the network, I guess, for the coming months, in an effort, I guess, to have the smoothest possible transition, so that the customer base continues to receive valuable clicks, and then they can seamlessly transition to Census's new product over the course of the next few months. I think Census is clearly in a very powerful position for two reasons. One is obviously the Salesforce capabilities of its Yellow and White Pages group, but secondly, because of the access to proprietary traffic through Telstra's ISP network. So, I think they're in a great position. I think that they are the natural owner of a search marketing business in Australia. They get it. One way or another, they've been selling direct marketing products which are not dissimilar to search for 40, 50 years. Yes, they'll face challenges, and yes, the distribution market obviously is one of those challenges, but this is a company that everything I've seen it turn its hand to over the last 15 years, it seems to have got it right. So, I don't think our people in Australia could have found themselves at a better employer, and I guess more to the point, I don't think our customers in Australia could have a better option than to work with a company that really understands the need to maximise customer value.
Would you see a similar trend in the United States, i.e. Yellow Pages organisation buying a search company?
Look, it's possible. It's a very different Yellow Pages market in the US. There's no single player that dominates the market. It tends to be more regional. So there are not dozens, but there are high single digits numbers of Yellow Pages companies in the US, all of which focus on a particular territory. So none of them would get the kind of benefits or walk-up start that Census could have by being national. The big difference is that none of them are also associated with, really associated as closely with an ISP as Telstra is, and I think that's as Census is through Telstra. That's a very powerful advantage. You may see it in Europe, where a lot of the Yellow Pages companies look a lot more like Census, but Australia's quite unique in that regard, and Census is generally regarded worldwide, I think, as one of the more progressive and forward-thinking Yellow Pages companies. And we've recently concluded the sale of the assets of our Japanese business to a partner there. So, and that was a difficult decision. Japan's a great market, growing at a phenomenal rate. It was a very difficult market to walk away from. But the right answer, again, for our shareholders was that we stay focused on the immediate problem. We lost 70% of our revenue late last year. It's a big change. Thankfully, the company is in pretty sound operational shape. We've got some great people and some good technology, and I think we are going to be able to turn this around, in reasonably short order. But it's hard enough to do that in one place. Doing it in two or three, spread out across the globe, different time zones, different languages, that gets real hard. And Maybe some other people could do it. I'm not prepared to back myself that I could. I'm prepared to back myself and my management team that we can turn the business around in the US, but I think it would have been just a little too much to have chewed off to have tried it in multiple markets.
And what is the plan in the US? How do you turn around the company?
So, look, it's pretty simple. Simple to understand, hard to do, I guess, is the formula. We are confident that there is a very large market out there through this second tier and third tier distribution market. We know that customers want more clicks, and they're telling us that every day. They're telling that to Google and Overture and all of our competitors in the industry. Here's the opportunity that's opened up for us. There are a large number of customers who are not getting significant value now from Google and Yahoo. Not because those guys do a bad job. Actually, it's the opposite problem. Google and Yahoo do a great job and have attracted many more customers, which means that people who are used to getting top 3 positions are getting bid out. So people who are used to paying relatively modest cost per clicks are finding themselves pushed down the page or even onto page 2 as new competitors come into the market. So if you were a pioneer in search marketing 3 years ago and you were bidding on a particular keyword, you might have been confident that you had that keyword, or at least had first page positioning locked up with a relatively modest bid. All of a sudden, there's a dozen to 2 dozen new competitors in your particular industry, and you're getting bid down to page 2, page 3, or whatever. The auction model is a brilliant model. It's a great way of maximising yield and getting the price right. The one problem it has is that if you don't win the auction, if you come second effectively, you don't really get a lot out of it. There's not a lot to be said for being on the second or third page of search results for a paid listing. You just really don't get a lot of value out of it. So the opportunity that's opened up is people who don't win. People who want quality traffic at a more reasonable price. And that's our theme. It's very simple. Quality traffic at a more reasonable price. We know that there are customers who can't get the number of clicks they want out of Google and Yahoo, provided the quality of our traffic is on par with those guys, provided we deliver the reporting services and all the sorts of things that customers now expect from our industry. Provided we do that, we are very confident of strong growth in our paid listings business. And in fact, our non-Microsoft paid listings business has been growing very strongly. We are pleased with the progress there. It's all based on that smaller second and third tier distribution network, but we're very pleased with the progress there. There's strong monthly growth, and we don't see any signs on the horizon that growth will stop.
Oh, that's interesting. So would LookSmart's strategy then be summarising a Walmart approach?
Look, everyday low prices is probably not a bad way of thinking about it. The great thing about the US market, it's so big that there are invariably opportunities for a lower price, lower cost player. Airlines is the other great example. I mean, Southwest Airlines in the US, 30 years ago, Southwest was a tiny little airline only operating inside the state of Texas. It's now the number 2 airline in the US. It's an extraordinary success story. And it's operated on a very simple principle: lower prices, every day, cheaper fares, with a lower cost structure to back it up. So our challenge is twofold. I've said that we've got to provide quality traffic, and we have to make sure that our traffic remains on par with Google and Yahoo, which means investing in customer support, investing in product quality, investing in reporting centres, those sorts of things. But the second thing, of course, is we've got to get our cost structure right. There's no point in charging lower prices than your competitor if your costs are similar to your competitor. And the genius of a Walmart or of Southwest in the US, of course, is that they know how to keep their costs down. So we're doing a lot of that. Some of that's painful. It's not a lot of fun having to reduce costs consistently, but we know we've got to do it. We're on the right track to get it done, and over the course of this year, we are confident that our cost structure will be robust, and we'll be in a good position to fight that fight based on offering consistently lower prices to our customers.
That's interesting, because you're obviously taking a different approach, and from what you say, Google and Yahoo wouldn't be direct competitors, would they?
Look, we don't think we've been direct competitors of them for some time, not in the US. I mean, we've offered a different product, we've had different styles of distribution. We're certainly not a direct competitor of theirs now. We're a competitor to the extent that we're all seeking a share of the advertising dollar, but we're definitely focused on a different distribution market. We're definitely focused on, I think, a different customer market.